military planning or staging on the part of Russia, but it also illustrates where this is happening, and that is smack dab in the middle of a neighborhood, homes on either side.
Hello viewers, we thank you so much once again. You're welcome to Big Love TV. It's another evening, and the news that we have is what we're going to show our viewers. There has been an incident that has just happened and occurred in Ukraine, and we are going to watch this and react to it. Now, there is a video that has just kicking on the internet that says Ukraine military claimed defeat of Russia's tank. Now, what we're going to witness or going to watch is the news from CNN that confirms that the Ukraine military claims defeat of Russia's tank. Let's check this video, and I know you're gonna love it so much.
There's new video into CNN this morning which appears to show a Ukrainian strike on Russian tanks just outside of the capital, Kyiv. The Ukrainian military claims to have defeated a Russian tank regiment as well as killed its commander.
Ukrainian armed forces also sharing videos of the aftermath, which, as you can see, shows tanks on fire, destroyed there. Joining us now, retired U.S. Army Major General Paul Eaton, former commanding general of coalition military assistance training teams in Iraq. Good morning. It's good to have you back with us this morning. We'd like to start on that video, if we could. That long line of tanks that we see, which raises a couple of questions that Jim and I were talking about before the show. Not only whether this seems to be smart military planning or staging on the part of Russia, but it also illustrates where this is happening, and that is smack dab in the middle of a neighborhood, homes on either side. What is your take, General, on what we're seeing in that video?
Well, I think we're seeing a structured ambush, and anytime you put tanks in an urban area, you've got to be surrounded with infantry and dismounted infantry at best. And clearly, we had a tank commander taken by surprise by a well-orchestrated, well-executed ambush with anti-tank weapons. So that, coupled with anything that you can deliver from helicopters or close air support, would provide you the scenes that we've got right now.
The U.S. estimates that Russian losses just 2 weeks in this war have been significant, up to 10% of its total force either destroyed or inoperable, and they've just greatly increased their estimate of Russian personnel losses. Earlier in this week, they were saying 2,000 to 4,000. Now they say perhaps 6,000. I mean, that's coming up to the combined total of U.S. deaths in Iraq and Afghanistan over 20 years, just in a couple of weeks here. What is your assessment of the performance of the Russian military here so far?
Well, Jim, thank you. It's also approaching the half point of all losses by the Soviet Union in Afghanistan. Yeah. What we're witnessing right now is an unexpectedly incompetent ground force. They've been unable to execute combined arms maneuver. They can't resupply their ground forces. Back in the Cold War, we used to worry about the 10-foot tall Russian. Yeah. He did not appear at the end of the day to be anywhere near that. We've done it again, and the Russians have grossly underestimated their enemy. They have grossly underestimated the difficulty in maneuver in Ukraine, and we're seeing that play out on a daily basis.
Yeah.
We're seeing that play out. We also are still seeing the devastating attacks on civilians and on civilian targets. Looking at what we are seeing this morning, what more do you think Ukraine needs in terms of assistance from its allies, from its partners?
We need to continue to do what we're doing, and the Ukrainians who have spoken to us from vantage points in Ukraine are asking for more air defense and more anti-tank, anti-armored vehicle missiles. And so we've got to keep that pipeline of Stingers going in, pipeline of Javelin going in. We're doing the right thing. But what we could also do is provide. We used to talk about linkage with President Nixon and his advisor Kissinger. We need to provide a strategic distraction for Mr. Putin. Now, the folks in J5 on the Joint Staff would be far better served than I to lay that out. But we do have some options available to us that would not involve direct engagement with militaries, Russian and U.S. or NATO, but something to get Putin to take his eye off the ball, if that's at all possible, right here.
Can you explain what a strategic distraction might look like? Are you talking about something in the cyber realm?
It could be cyber. We're already working very hard on the economic front, on the diplomatic front. It could be diplomatic engagement with folks who are in a position to worry Mr. Putin. China, I think, is absolutely a diplomatic opportunity that we need to engage. Reinforcement of Polish ground forces, Baltic forces. It's that city, Kaliningrad, that's a lovely place. It'd be terrible if something happened to it. Kaliningrad Oblast is separated from Russia with 2 NATO countries bordering, and with it's just there. If we were to put substantial ground forces, that would be worrisome. We wouldn't have to do anything but station a more robust ground military and air military presence in Poland and the Baltics. We started, we need to continue.
Major General Paul Eaton, always appreciate your insight. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you very much.
There's new video into CNN this morning which appears to show a Ukrainian strike on Russian tanks just outside of the capital, Kyiv. The Ukrainian military...
Well, thank you so much. That's the news that we got. And I just, one thing that I just want to say is, let's check the intro. When we come back, then we take it from there. Well, thank you so much for your time. What I just want to ask is, when do you think this is going to come to an end? Does it mean that the Europeans really need to get involved in this? Do you think the Americans need to get themselves involved in this? Well, let's see what tomorrow will say. Thank you so much for your time. If today is the first time of watching our videos, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to smash on the bell button so that whenever we upload new video, you'll be the first to watch this Big Love TV, a radio presenter's reaction. Thank you so much. Till we meet in the next reaction. God bless you. Adios.